All right. No.
Yeah.
All right. Keiron Boyce, black belt in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, and co-owner of 210 Jiu Jitsu in Luton. I've been training martial arts most of my life, on and off. I stopped the usual teenage years chasing girls and having fun, and then once I was settled down, really looking for something to get back into it, and martial arts was there again for me. Got a few black belts in different disciplines. Got black belt in karate, judo, kickboxing, but the one I'm most proud of, and the one that is probably my true love, is Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. So for me personally, Jiu Jitsu is a little bit of escapism. I work in quite a high pressure job. I've got, I was going to say young family, but a growing family now, 3 kids, and with the stresses of life, I always needed an outlet. And like I said before, doing judo, karate, kickboxing, it was never really enough for me. I then dabbled in MMA, had a few amateur competitions and stuff, Grand Prix, and the groundwork side of things was something that I knew I needed to pursue. And then all of a sudden I met up with Babs, who trained in Luton Moorfire, and he said, you should come down and learn groundwork properly. So I did, and from the day that I started, literally hooked non-stop. It's all I could think about for ages. Sometimes even now, you go through periods again, that's all you can think about. So for me, it's a true form of escapism, and it really instills a never say die, never give up feeling, I think, in myself. At least it's definitely taught me to overcome, to what it's like. Someone's absolutely murdering you, but you got to be calm, collected, a little bit of composure, and you'll be able to get through it. And I think that's the metaphor for life. So I think that's why Jiu-Jitsu resonates with me so much. What does it do for other people? I mean, a big side of Jiu-Jitsu is mental, and I believe that Jiu-Jitsu and training Jiu-Jitsu gives you mental fortitude and strength, so that not just the ability to overcome and everything that I just said, but also there's teammates, there's you got friends from the moment you step on the mat. You're meeting new people. I think Jiu-Jitsu takes people out of their shell. If you look at some of the students who've got 210, the confidence that people have grown since they came on day 1 to day 20 is insane. And I think a lot of that comes from the self-belief that they establish along their Jiu-Jitsu journey. You might start not believing in yourself, and then you get small wins all along the journey, and those small wins slowly build up the person's character and strengths, and eventually, I think we've seen it in loads of our students, particularly, especially in the ladies side as well. All of a sudden they start coming out of themselves, their belief starts to get a little bit stronger, not to a point where there's arrogance. I'm not talking about that, but I'm just talking about really helping with self-belief, because you can see those small improvements once you put the effort in. And then what do I like about coaching? It's seeing that come to reality, seeing the transformation in people, giving them an escape from their mental struggles. Especially if you think about COVID, I knew that Jiu-Jitsu was a big part of my life, and when COVID hit, seeing how not just myself but all of us in our team coped with not being able to train, it made me realise that there's a real need there for it from a mental freeness perspective. So I think that's what I like most as a coach, is providing a facility for people and an environment for people to come, mix, mingle, get their mental well-being straight. And then the other side of it, obviously, giving people a platform to go and compete. got an awesome competition team now, and seeing people go from being really worried about even doing their first training session to going out and getting gold like we had at the weekend as well, it's just awesome. So that's probably my favourite part of teaching jiu-jitsu, of being a coach. I'm sure that a lot of us can resonate or understand what imposter syndrome feels like, but self-doubt, you've got to, as an instructor, you've got to constantly have your finger on the pulse. So I'm as committed to my own learning and development now at black belt as I was at white belt, and the ability to ensure that I can still do what I say I can do, right, is massive, especially as I'm getting older. So I would say, yeah, self-doubt and not believing in myself. Even though we preach to others, believe in yourself, everyone still has that self-doubt. So that's the hardest part. But there's also worrying about if the mat's full. That used to be a big thing for us, less so now because we've got a whole bag of members. But in the earlier days, after lockdown was when we really started up. If you think about 210 properly as a club, we started after lockdown, with like 10 or 15 of us like, okay, let's just do adult classes. Everyone's been asking for it, we'll do adult classes properly now. And then some days there'd be maybe 6 of us. 2 of them would be my kids, me and Aaron. You had 2, Parker, Kelso, me and Aaron, 4, and we're like, who else is going to come? So getting to the point where we believe, well, certainly for me, I can't speak for Aaron, but where we believe that we've got something to offer people that they would want to be part of. Again, it's pretty unbelievable, really, to know that now, the match sometimes it's got 45 people on a Wednesday. It's not it's just 45 people on a mat on a Wednesday. That's awesome, but it doesn't mean the self-doubt ain't there. A big part of my development was other martial arts, which took me to jiu-jitsu, which I'm grateful for. And I believe that true martial artists should always have more than just one skill set. So I'm hoping in future we get to a position where we can offer maybe a striking class, and this isn't some big formal, we're going to all line up and do kata and all this, but I'm on about practical striking, the ability to throw a punch, to throw a kick, to know when not to kick. All of these things I think are really important for general self-defense and to be able to take care of yourself, but especially as a martial artist, and especially if you want to grow to be a coach yourself in your own right. Be like learning to play football as a goalkeeper and only knowing how to be in goal. You know what I mean? I think you need to know a bit. I think you need to know about every position on the pitch, and it's the same with the fighting arts, in my opinion. So yeah, hopefully we can get to a position where we offer, even if it's an hour a week, just one class where the members can come, do some striking, hit some pads. That'd be awesome. That will only come when we can get more access to the room that we currently use, which hopefully will come in time. And then I would like to get more judo going as well. Obviously, as you know, I help coach at a local judo club as well, and my boys are going through their black belt journey at the moment. They're out competing for points, which is going quite well so far. So I'd like to be able to offer a judo track as well at some point to the guys at 210 that want it. We've got some great judo players at the club. So it seems to me that if we could get access, and again, we could just add another hour somewhere, give people the ability to pursue their judo, would be great. For the club as a whole, people keep saying, when are you going to move? When are you going to move? When are you going to get a bigger unit? But the reality is, we're happy where we are. Salto have allowed us to grow. They offer us a great environment to train in. They've been completely supportive, and likewise we support back to them. And at the moment, we're just a club. Anything else, you start to talk about business. We don't want to be a business, because I don't want to lose the community spirit and the community vibe that we've got, and ruin that with formality and whatever else being a business entails. We're happy running as a community club, making sure that the timetable keeps growing. We've got 4, 5, 6 instructors now. that are teaching different classes, you know, across a couple of locations. It's awesome. So hopefully we can just continue to do what we're doing now, but even better. And then, you know, 5 years time, who knows, we'll have to look at that again.